Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kiera.
And we are the Keepers of the Books, your online librarians. And we're here with a weekly reads episode with books ranging from early chapter books through adult this week. A Mighty Marvel's chapter book, Avengers Ms. Marvel's Fists of Fury. This is written by Calliope Glass and illustrated by Caravan Studios. This book is about Kamala Khan. She is Ms. Marvel. She is a student. She lives in Jersey City. She's having a hard time balancing life between being a student, passing her tests, and having to take care of life as Ms. Marvel, protecting the city. At the beginning of this book, she bombs this huge test. She really needs to be studying, but of course, people need saved and things need fixed. There are these robberies going on with these strange bird-like creatures. She thinks maybe there's some masks, some really lifelike masks. These people are stealing, or these creatures are stealing birds. So all these missing birds are happening at mostly pet stores. And of course, a strange man shows up to help her, and it is Thor. She doesn't quite recognize him at first, and they get into a little bit of a fight. Thor comes to help because there's a much deeper villainous plot going on in the background, and she is going to need some help. A fun book for those who like Avengers and female superheroes, but boys or girls. Grades 2 through 4 or ages 7 or 8 through about 10 or 11. This is a review copy from Marvel. Okay, this one goes with the Tangled TV series, Rapunzel's Guide to All Things Brave, Creative, and Fun. This is by Susan Francis, and what I love about this book is the how-tos. Not only are they well written with step-by-step instructions that are great, including warnings when necessary, they have both the girly princess side, or things about being a lady, maybe art and drawing, and it has things that are more the adventurous and brave side, like bow and arrows and horseback riding is kind of both. How to pitch a tent, and of course there's ways to braid your hair because it's Rapunzel.
And poor thing has very long hair.
There are some fun illustrations, not only just to add to the book, like in this page on social graces. There are pages to help you with instructions. Illustrated instructions are always helpful. So enjoy adventure and the outdoorsy type stuff, and enjoy the girly type stuff as well. I love that balance in this book because it is so Rapunzel, and most girls now seem to have both sides of them. Cute, colorful illustrations, great instructions, grades 3 through 8. Or ages 8 or 9 through about 13. This is a review copy from Disney Press. We have one more middle grade book. This is Journey's End by Rachel Hawkins. This is a fun book, a review copy from Putnam and Kiss the Book, kissthebook.blogspot.com. This is about Noli, who decides to go spend the summer with her father in Scotland at Journey's End, a small island by the Boundary. The Boundary is this mysterious fog off the coast that has a very dark and mysterious past, and people don't like to get too close because people go missing. She ends up making friends with this girl named Belle Kissack, whose father makes his living by taking people to the edge of the Boundary, showing them the mysterious fog, and of course heading back, so he's kind of gives boat tours. And they have a trinket shop. Her father's assigned to studying the Boundary, but the Boundary seems to be getting closer and closer. Belle and Noli find this mysterious boy, Robert McLeish. He went missing in 1918 in the Boundary, and now all of a sudden he's back. What does the Boundary want? Is it going to consume the entire town like the legends? Can they save the town? And what do they have to do to save it? This is a fun book with a bit of a mysterious story. Grades 4 through 8 or ages 10 through 14.
The Phoenix Files, The Arrival by Chris Morphew. This main character is Luke. His family is pretty much in shreds at the moment. His mom and dad are getting divorced, so his mom drags him off to Phoenix. And he gets there. And there is a boy there who introduces him to where his locker is, where his classes are. Makes an unusual comment. He's like, everybody in this town was invited to this town. You're the last one. And Luke is utterly confused. What could that possibly mean? What is he talking about? This town's whole job is to save the world from apocalyptic destruction. But Luke, being brand new to the town, doesn't have a clue what that means. Can he figure it out before time runs out? This is a very, very action-packed series, full of lots of mystery, very X-Files-y. If you like things that really draw you into the story and have good characters, you'll want to pick this one up. This is a review copy from Kane Publishing. I recommend this for grades 5 through 9 or ages 10 to 15.
The Go-Between by Veronica Chambers. This is a review copy from Delacorte Press. And this is about Camila del Valle, or Cami, as she's known by her friends. She lives in Mexico City, and her mom is the most famous telenovela actress that there is in Mexico. Her dad is a very famous voice actor, and they want for nothing. In fact, sometimes she's a little bit embarrassed and is a little harsh on her friends when it comes to dealing with her mother. But things in her home life are not so picture perfect, and her mother needs a change, wants a change. She auditions for a part in LA, and she makes it. So they're off to LA for a short time at least, while her mother starts filming this show and sees how this series is going to work. Cami decides that she's pretty much tired of being famous, or the daughter of famous people. She's not really anyone except the daughter, who tends to get publicity for that reason and that reason alone. And she's off to a new start at a new school, and she decides to reinvent herself. Well, she's kind of makes some new friends, but they're a little bit racist even if they don't think they are. Or at least they have stereotypes stuck in their head. They think that she is a scholarship student, and they think that her mother is a maid. Cami decides to let them believe this, even though her mother only plays a maid on TV. And Cami decides that she likes being not so famous and being able to hide in the shadows a little bit. And this actually lets Cami test her own acting skills, but she feels like she's being a little dishonest. And she's not quite sure how to deal with this. She doesn't want to let her friends come over to her house because, well,
It's a mansion.
pretty much. There's somebody who actually seems to know who she is. Can she keep up this undercover act forever? And who's going to figure out, is anybody going to figure out who she really is? And how is that going to happen? Are they going to find out the truth? And is it going to blow up in her face, or is it going to go over okay and they'll say, that was a nice try? We get it.
My guess is it blows up in her face.
I don't know, it's kind of this frenemy relationship with the girls, so it's kind of realistic, honestly, because it seems like a lot of girls have frenemies more than friends, but not always the case, but sometimes it's very much the truth. Grades 7 through 12 or ages 12 and up.
Wildman by J.C. Geiger. So Lance Hendricks, it has what you would think of as a picture-perfect fake life. Perfect grades, great girlfriend, popular in school, valedictorian, and he's about ready to graduate, and so he doesn't have a clue what he really wants to do with his life. He's probably what I would call a coaster. And he's off to a party to meet up with his girlfriend, who frankly is quite the witch with a B. His car breaks down in this town in the middle of nowhere, and he happens to have his car fall into the hands of the wrong mechanic in this town. Says he's a mechanic, but really isn't. Not a very good one anyways. And so he's stuck in this town for longer than he should be, and when he first gets there, he meets Miriam Severs, who is a very down-to-earth girl who's a little bit older than him that has a few things to teach him about life. He's still trying to get out of this town, and it's just not working very well. His girlfriend's getting really angry on the other side of the phone, and he starts to wonder, is this really the future I want for me, or could I possibly see myself living in a town like this town in the middle of nowhere and having a little bit more normal life? But what is normal? For fans of realistic fiction who like some humor and coming of age stories and self-discovery, you'll want to pick this one up. It does have a little bit of mature content, so I would recommend this for grades 9 and up or ages 15 and up. This is a review copy from Hyperion. The Siren by Kiera Cass. This one is about Kaylin, and she is shipwrecked. To me, it seems like the Titanic, but that could just be because it has some similarities. But when she's in the ocean and she's drowning, she says she would give anything to live. So the ocean complies and says, okay, if you give me 100 years, you can live again. So the ocean makes her a siren. This is a 100-year sentence where during this time they have to take lives in shipwrecks and other events to feed the ocean so that allows humanity to live. She lives on land with her sisters. When they're together, they can talk, but when they're around other mortals or the mortals can hear them, they have to pretend that they are mute so that they don't hear their voice, because if they hear their voice, they will wander into the ocean and die. Their voice will kill. So in one of these towns, she meets a Kinley. They tend to move around a lot, and he is amazing, and she kind of brushes him off in the library because she's doing her own little research project. She tends to scrapbook the people she's killed so she can deal with the trauma that she's caused and seen. And he is amazing. He is not stifled at all by her muteness, and he pursues her anyways, and she gets to know him, go on dates, and she falls in love with him. While sirens are allowed to have dalliances, they are not allowed to fall in love. That is against the rules. So she kind of has this secret romance going on with him, but she panics and she moves, but that is not the end of their love. So can she escape her sentence? And
Can she stay with McKinley? Can she escape and be with him forever? Or will the ocean find her? What's going to happen? So the narrator is Ariel Delisle. The narrator is really good. She has, again, unique voices for the characters. You can tell them apart. Her voice is engaging and draws you into the story. Again, it's one where the audiobook was so good you don't want to read the actual book. You just want to keep listening.
So just curious, how far into her sentence was she?
80 years, so she's almost done. But the ocean is swift with her punishment. She does not hold back. Grade 7 and up, or ages 12 and up. I don't remember anything more than a mild kiss and maybe
A little murder?
A little language. Yeah, there is a little bit of violence as they're killing the ships full of people, but it's ages 12 and up.
Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. This is the story of Alice and her friend Teddy. So on a whim, she enters Teddy into a lottery and just picks some random numbers that are based off of things related to birthdays, when they met each other, such stuff like that. And he wins. He wins $149 million. And Alice thinks, oh, this won't change our friendship. There's nothing to change. But people start coming out of the woodworks and they start changing Teddy. And Teddy doesn't really know what to think of all this. And can their friendship survive a lottery win? What will they do with all the money? This is very much a fun, realistic fiction with some silly parts, as well as a few more serious parts with some romance, because their relationship is developing. For fans of romance, you'll want to pick this one up. I would recommend this for grades 9 and up or ages 15 and up. Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case by Kristen Painter, narrated by Hollis McCarthy. Jane Frost is the Winter Princess. Her dad is Jack Frost. And she's tired of everybody just assuming things about her because she's the princess of the Winter King. And she gets sent by her dad and uncle, Kris Kringle, undercover to one of the Santa's workshop stores because all these elves in the town are disappearing. The manager of the place is claiming that they're all just giving their notice and up and leaving. Jane has the ability to go under doorways, and so she goes under the doorways of one of the most recent elves who's disappeared. And what person would leave their cat? And so she takes this poor little kitty in, who's rather a fun part of the story. And she has the misfortune of running into her ex, who doesn't realize who she is. And so she has to redate her ex, who is a summer elf who may have something to do with the missing people. So she has to date him to get information out of him. She also meets a vampire whose name is Grayson. And she's starting to have some feelings for him too, but can she be honest about who she really is while she's undercover? So you have the love triangle going on, although one's kind of a dysfunctional falling apart triangle from the past, while she's trying to solve the mystery of the missing elves and what's really going on in the town, and self-discovery as well. So if you like fun mysteries that are lighthearted, cozy reads, you'll want to pick up Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case for adults.
All right, those are our weekly reads. Thank you for watching. If you liked any of them, want to read any of them, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you'll hear about more reviews and other people see about reviews. And tell us what you're reading. We will be sure to comment back. And thank you for watching. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.